It's the Fots.
You heard?
Yeah, we back at it.
Like a crack addict.
You know what I mean?
What do we say? We say corporate, influencer, social media, business, entrepreneur.
Billboard. What's not billboard? Yeah, billboards.
Hey, we say it. We're
billboards.
gonna keep adding words. Keep adding words.
And boardroom blocks.
Boardroom blocks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it should feel crazy.
Yeah,
today.
it was good, bro.
Back, bro.
Back.
It's weird.
Don't say
It's
you're
weird.
back, though.
No, we're back. No, we're back.
Oh, okay.
No, we're back.
Oh, we're back. Oh,
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Is it? That's good to say. We're back.
No, because we are. We haven't shot in a minute. So
no, I don't. It feels. I mean, as per the perception on social media,
Right.
we've been shooting every week.
yeah.
We've been looking good out here.
No, of course.
Every week we've been dropping something.
And now I come back in here with a bunch of shotters with Junior. We out here.
We got a bunch of shotters in here.
No, for sure.
That's crazy.
But pause feels good. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start
feel-
doing it first.
Yeah,
Before I
yeah.
even have it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
John don't have. He hasn't been here for a while, so we can say whatever we want right now. Yeah, yeah. Free John. You
Hashtag
heard?
free John.
Yeah, free John. You
Free
heard?
to whip. Free to whip.
Free to wave. You heard? So
Nah, but this is this is dope. I mean, I think we've been speaking.
Yeah,
as
for
far
sure.
as clearly, Don and I, like he said in the past, we speak every single day.
Every day.
8:15,
8:15, 8:30.
Um,
Every day.
yeah, no, 100%. And I
Key to
think
success.
I think the energy and the vibe for us,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great wave that I feel like, we were speaking even about. I know this is off topic, but we were speaking even about as far as healthy,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Getting back into the gym and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I've been. This is my third day. It's out here.
yeah. See, I was speaking to a trainer the other day. He's like, "What's the biggest thing? What do you feel is the biggest thing why you're not doing something?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Because I hate excuses.
Mm-hmm.
But my excuse is I'm focusing on my career right now, so I can't I don't want to focus on my body,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't do that because the career is not going to do anything
Without your body, and
Yeah.
that's essentially with me. Same, and on top of that too, the motivation is that, currently my kids only have one parent, and I have to be as healthy as I can for them. So I can't be selfish.
No, 100%.
So I've been, so that's one of the reasons why, and getting back at it. Some other motivations has been helping me too. So
yeah.
you know?
Nah, and the thing is crazy because I was thinking about the gym, right?
Yep.
And when we had Los here, I was like, I'm gonna run 3 times, and I was talking to the trainer. He's like, hey, do you exercise? I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I said I want to, but I don't. But the thing is that he was like, how committed are you to this?
Mm-hmm.
He says, would you go to the gym, 5 days a week? I said I would, as long as I have some sort of structure and everything like that. Because again, it's a mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing I thought about too is before, right, when I had my 9 to 5, I would have to go to the gym. I'm an early riser, right? And I like to go to the gym before everything else, right? Before I take my son to school, because I like to take my son to school. I would go at like 5:30 in the morning so that I'm done. But then I realized I don't have a 9 to 5 anymore, right?
Oh.
When we shoot the pod, I would have to go early, but I could take my son to school and then go to the gym probably like 8:39, when nobody's there,
for sure.
and I could probably do that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I go at 4:30. I'm up at 4:30. I don't know, religiously, that's just something about me. My body, it's trained to get up at 4:30, 4:45, and then get up and do my morning little routine, brush my teeth and all that stuff. And now I go to the gym around that time. There'd be nobody in there.
Yeah.
There'd be some old women, some CrossFit women, some CrossFit dudes, and they just be in there, going crazy. But it'd be nobody in there by like 5:30. By 6:30, then people start to pile in. But I'll be there and just be rocking out for the past few days. So I think I'm doing a schedule like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then probably Sunday. So I'll probably do Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. And then, and then change up the eating habits and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I started with the eating, and I'm gonna see, like I said, as far as with the with the time frame, like for me, because again, I thought about the 9 to 5 aspect of it, and then I thought about it, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, damn, it's crazy how life has changed from when I had a 9 to 5 to now.
It
You know what
usually
I mean?
happens.
And the journey, like even thinking about it, when I had the 9 to 5, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like I remember going to work and bringing clothes, right, to change if I had a meeting during lunch. Like I was doing everything, right? It was like, because I was doing something with tools, and I'm not a tool guy
for sure.
at all. But the thing is that I had to.
Sorry, I knew.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. I don't want that face looking at me while I'm talking. So,
but now for sure.
So pause if you want to put it in edits. What do you call it? No, I was just thinking about like the journey to get here, and then coming here and speaking to, we have people here today, and speaking to your family, and just, I realized that everybody that knows us for a long period of time, clearly family, everybody has been watching us, but prior to us doing this, having like just the work ethic and the growth and just going from, hey, 9 to 5, and now it's like, damn, we're in our spot that we do what we do, and doing good for people, but still had a 9 to 5. Yeah. And I've never shied away from,
working.
Yeah, because even back then, as far as on the music side, I knew my stuff, right? But I would say to people like, hey, this is what I feel, this and that, but I have a 9 to 5. Sure. So take it for what it's worth, because I'm still working. If I was not doing this, that'd be different. And I think that that's a different outlook on it.
Yo, it's crazy. I forgot something. I was gonna bring my paycheck.
That's right.
I was going through my room, and I found like thousands of like pay stubs for my old job.
Yeah.
Right, and I think the most I made at that time, it was like $2,500. Right, and I was like, it was like perspective for me. I'm like, at this time, I think it was like 2000 and like say like 12 or something like that. At this time, or the paycheck at the time, this was like everything to me, like $2,500. And then I worked overtime, and I'm like, so I started putting the perspective aspect of, damn, I did, 80 hours plus another 20 hours only to get this much. It was like, the check was like $3,500 or $3,200, and, taxes, et cetera, and, child support, because, I was on there too. I take care of my child, but whatever. But nevertheless, it was on there, and then I got $2,500, and I was just like, yo, is at this time, how was I feeling? Because right now, that $2,500 goes by like that. Yeah. I get $2,500 in my hands. It don't seem the same way. Like $1,000 to me at this moment, it's like $100 to me. And it sounds crazy.
Stay flexing, right?
No.
Yo, Gabi, he stay flexing.
Yo, it's not a flex.
Yo, $1,000 like $100.
Yo, it's not a flex. It's
no, I understand what you're saying.
It's for real. Like,
I
was thinking at that time, like $2,500, I was like, I was trying to squeeze that $2,500, but it would disappear. It was like water. It's like liquid. It's through your hands. Yeah. And now, because obviously of trial and error, you know how to use money and do what you got to do with money. It's now that $2,500 stretches because it goes, to some type of investment or some type of this, and then you know exactly what you're doing with it. But the fact that the mindset that you was when you was working your 9 to 5, and working for somebody, I was like, damn, who was I impressing? Was I really impressing me, or was I working to get somebody else's validation? And I was like, damn, I was brainwashed.
No, and I'm with you on that.
I'm not saying not saying that people are brainwashed. Most people are brainwashed at their job. I'm talking about from my experience. Right. I was brainwashed.
Right. No, and I get that, because we grew up for the most part as 9 to 5. Get a job, this type of thing. That's kind of like the quote unquote
401k.
The American dream.
Good benefits.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember the job when I first got the job. My first paycheck, I got $292.50, $7.31 an hour. It was like called the cycle rate, and it was like just getting the job was good. Dope, right? And I said, I'm not gonna be here past 5 years, because that was top pay and all of these things. And over the course of time, I always had grander aspirations. Of course. And even people that I work with, they were like, yo, Myq, this is my end. We know that you have a lot more that you're planning to do. And I don't know what it was. I just did, right? But the thing is that the 9 to 5 is not a bad thing, right? Like people sit there and try to be like, especially in this creative space, and they don't want to say that they have a job. Why not?
Yeah.
Like I used to tell people, my stepfather put me onto this, and it really helped me out. I was like, he was like, when I was doing the music, he was like, how do you pay for studio time? I said, well, I pay for it. Well, how do you get that money?
Yeah.
I was like, my paycheck. He was like, well, you have to look at that your job is financing your dream.
Sure.
And that made me look crazy to it because I was looking at my job as the executive producer.
Yeah, for sure.
Once I had that mind shift, it was like, okay, I get it now. I get what this is. And too many people are trying to be, especially in this day and age, something that they're not. And for me, like what you're saying, as far as you didn't care about you weren't saying that there was brainwash as far as for anybody else, but at some point, and I forgot when it was, I knew where I was. I was in the kitchen of the house that I was living in. And I realized that when if I worked 40 hours a week, right? If I worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whatever that was, whatever my hourly rate was, add in double time, time and a half, all that, that was the most that I can make in 1 week.
In a week, yep.
Didn't matter what that number was, but there was a cap.
Yep.
And I had a problem with that.
Yep.
I had a huge problem with that, and that shifted my whole thing. I was like, nah, I can't. This is not me.
Yeah.
I can't do this. Somebody is not going to cap me where I'm at, right? Because I was working in a union, and it's like, that's very, hey, don't do too much, don't do too little. I get it, but that wasn't for Myq. You know what I'm saying? And, having this and doing what we're doing and, going back to that as far as, people seeing what we're doing and, bro, like, I love what we do.
For sure.
But I appreciate the 9 to 5.
Yeah, but also, too, the 9 to 5 allowed us to see what we didn't want.
Yes.
And then understand the freedom we do have.
100%.
Right? So, like for me, when I was working my 9 to 5 or my 3 to 8 or my 4 to 12 or whatever it was called,
you did those
I
shifts?
did 4 to 12, 3 to 11, 7 to 3s, 6 to 2s,
Oof.
8 to 4s. 9. I worked name of shift. I worked it 7 to 11 overnights, 12 to 8 overnights. I've had 2 jobs that I went from one job that I worked in overnight and then went and started.
He was Heyman.
I was out here.
Junior!
I was out here hustling, you know what I mean? On some real Jamaican-ish, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that when I became a director at a company, and they had a mentoring program, right? Which I think that was the best thing for me. Everybody that was getting a mentor, they were getting mentors that were a part of their job description. So
right.
Directors was mentoring with other directors, and supervisors was supervisors. Here I go, thinking, being bold. I'm like, yo, I want to be mentored by the CEO of the company.
Fire.
And everybody looked at me like, what? He's not going to carve out the time for you, but he did. And he carved out the time once a month. I met with him once a month, and it was a mentoring program. And I sat there, and he would give me books to read, just things that he think can help me properly develop me. With that I became a facilitator for 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. So I was able to go and teach this to other individuals because I sat with the CEO and we threw around ideas and had these grand things. Right. Then he got super busy that he pawned me off to the COO of the company. Oh, right. And so then every month for the year, I sat with individuals that ran the company. The reason why I sat with them is because I already knew what a director did.
Right.
I wanted to know what they do.
Right.
And then how did they do it? And it's not too far-fetched from what you and I do. So now that I saw, it's almost like the manifestation of that happening has happened within my life currently, because what I saw and what I was pursuing that time, currently that's what you and I do. And
and you use that. And this is, again, going back to the job aspect of it. You got to understand, please don't hate your job.
Yeah.
If you have a dream and you're a creative, and I'll focus on the creative or whatever aspect of it, use your job for whatever you're doing and look at the landscape.
Yep.
Right? Like if you're, there's a manager and there's a regional manager, sit there and just insert your brand, your this, your that.
Yep.
Because now you start to understand, you got to understand that's free game. People are paying you to learn. If you look at it like that, right? You're in a job, you sit there, whatever company, whatever, you sit there, you see what's going on. Oh, like I said, they have this. Okay, they have accounts receivable. You start to learn all of these different things if you utilize it like that. You can't push it away, because again, like I said, in this creative space and especially with what we're, our journeys.
Yeah.
It's always like, I didn't really want to say I have a 9 to 5. Why not? Yeah, why not? Who you fronting for?
So even with my 9 to 5, I own studios. I've had businesses while doing that.
Yeah.
I had a clothing store while I was working. These are things I've had. Like, so when people ask me, yo, what was the catalyst, like, as far as from your jobs? What it was with me was I was still trying to find out who I was.
Right.
So, it's almost like I didn't all the way trust myself. Like, cause I'm young, I'm probably gonna fuck this money up. Yeah. and I was like, I need to have a job. And then you have your parents in the background.
Junior!
Like, oh, you know what? You need to have a, good credit, 401k, and this and that.
I wish my parents had an accent.
Well, the good credit part, I get it.
So tight.
But the 401k and all that stuff, and I used to tell my mother and father, I'm like, yo, the way it's going, that 401k stuff, I can create myself. The thing is that, and they always talked about good benefits. And, and the interesting part about this is that, my father was a street pharmacist, right? So, right? So for him to tell me, it was almost like, yo, you're a hypocrite. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately, I was like, you ain't got no benefits, no nothing. And I'm seeing you progress in life.
Yeah.
Why can't you see that in me?
But you understand that from his perspective as a parent now.
Yeah, but as a parent now, I do understand it. But the thing is that as a youngin', right, I used to go to he had the first, like,
stationary with no stationary.
Yeah, stationary with no stationary. Like, essentially, he had the first, like, dispensary. Right? Yes, it was illegal, right? But, he was very smart on the things he did. He opened it around the corner from the police precinct. Like, he was there and he like hid in plain sight. This is like for real. Yeah. This is some real shit. Like,
this is facts.
This is not shit like I'm just talking on my ass. Yeah. All right. I can tell you, you go into the bathroom, there was a little tile, you take the plunger, bloop, take the shit out.
This is great.
Yo, there's
allegedly.
There's all alleged, and there's dime bags and nicks, because at that time it was $5 and $10.
Yeah.
And you'll come there buy, a Snapple and a nigga bag. But nevertheless, though, I saw the concept of what business looked like on a few sides.
Right.
On a legal side, illegal side, whatever they said was illegal, because to them everything's illegal. And I just saw it on both sides and said that, yo, there's somebody's making money somewhere, some way, somehow. I need to be able to know how to get into this economy some way, somehow. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of fall, a lot of, repossessions of my cars.
Yeah.
I've a lot of, ducking the landlord, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, like, trying to figure it out, the noise around me, even while at a 9 to 5, like, trying to become domesticated because your partner doesn't understand the life that you want.
Right.
And, it was miserable. So, God has a way to just shift you, put you in some turmoil, and, to essentially make you the phoenix, right? They said they put you through fire for you to become this phoenix. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Like, I became this phoenix, but I still didn't know how to fly. I was still walking around with this looking real nice, right? But trying to learn how to fly. And every time I would jump off a cliff, I would fall because I didn't know how to soar yet.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't really fully trust myself. I think what it was more of like, can I really do this? And then, you start understanding, like, yo, you can, little by little. And then when my wife got sick, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I have to do this now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I'm like, no, when she got sick, I'm like, there's no turning back.
Yeah, doing that, bro, like, the fact that we can make a living in this and going through all of that, like, my father grew up in a bad neighborhood in Harlem, but my father did everything
the way he's supposed to.
Yeah, went to college, got his master's, stayed at a job for however long. So that was his thing for me.
Yeah.
My mother's side was my grandmother had a bar for 40 years in the Bronx. My mom had her own business. My stepfather had his own business. So I grew up on a day-to-day with that. So I used to it used to be hard for me because I'm like, how come my father doesn't understand? And my mother and my step-pops were like, yeah, go, do what you got to do. But my father, from a father's standpoint, was like, this is what I know.
Yeah.
So this was good for me. So I want you to do that. And the whole 401k, because when I got my job on my block, dudes was like, yo, you straight. And I was like, but that's not, like, I never said it, but it was for them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It wasn't for me. And going through, like, the repos,
Yeah.
the marshals putting stuff on your door.
Yeah.
But you know what saved me? I was just having this conversation with my wife, is my 401k. I just did it for whatever, but I've pulled out so much money to pay for studio, to pay for putting things into stationery that are not stationary. Like, I've pulled stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I was having a conversation. I'm like, yo, I don't have nothing in my 401k.
Yeah.
But thank God I had that in order to do all of these other things. So I was okay with that. But people sat there and thought you were crazy. Yo, why are you taking out of your phone? You need that nest egg. Fuck your nest egg.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I hear you. But, yo, at that moment, I didn't know we were going to be here.
Nah.
Because right now, bro, in the best position that I've ever been in my life.
Yo, and on top, and that opens, that's what, teamwork and shared vision does. So we have a shared vision. That's the thing, is that I've worked with a lot of people, which are a lot of great people, and I'm not saying at that time, I'm not saying we didn't have a vision,
right.
but it wasn't a shared vision.
Right.
The vision was definitely to execute the plan that was at the time on the table, but after that, they had their own, movements, and I had my own aspirations as well. The thing is that when you definitely come and bump up into a person, you're like, yo, you know what? You and I share the same vision, like the shared vision aspect of this. We're going to put this shit into action.
Carl said that. Remember Carl said that? He was like, yo, you finally found somebody that you,
it's shared. And that's I think that's one of the key to our success, is that we have this shared vision. There's somebody talks to you, and then they talk to me. Like, yo, Mike said the same thing. Yo, Don said the same thing. And sometimes we don't even speak to each other.
Right.
It's just because we understand where we're going. Yeah, I think my mother had asked me. She was like, so how do you and your partner?
Did she say it like that?
No, she said, Junior, how do you and your partner, tackle, challenges in y'all business? And I said, we tackle it together. Right. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I said we see what the challenge is. He takes one half, I take the other half, and then we swap it. And then we see, and then we work on it like that. We dissect it, because then it doesn't become a challenge. Now we see that it's just really, because it's really us that make it bigger than what it's supposed to be. 100%. So the best part, and that's the best part about our company, is that you and I are the foundation of this. Yeah. And not to sound like crazy, but it's the truth. Like, we are the foundation, and it builds out to everything else.
Yeah, and we keep moving. That's the thing. That we move, we do, because we've had a lot of this stuff that in the past, individually, for sure, we've been moving, and nothing has happened. But those movements got us to this point. And the one thing that people, and I used to hate that, I don't want to go on the side aspect of it, so I'll keep it here.
Yeah.
But the movement aspect of it, I always used to say, like, a lot of people, they like to talk like they're moving. They talk, they be like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But you're not really doing anything, and you get caught up in wanting to tell people that you're doing stuff. I call it the treadmill syndrome. It's like, literally, you're moving, but you're in the same spot.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
So, the crazy part about that is, like, before we got this location, we went and looked at a 10,000 square foot location.
Yeah, fire.
10,000 square foot.
We getting it, Kaba. Just so
in Brooklyn, right? The rent was $20-something thousand. Mike and I had $20 in the business account, right? Okay, all right. So we go into this 10,000 square foot location in Brooklyn, Williamsburg, right?
Yeah, Williamsburg. Fire with parking lot.
Fire. It was crazy.
Yo,
amazing. I'm serious. We had $20 in our business account. All right. We go in there, look around. We talking to each other, looking around. Damn, this could be dope here. We can set this up here. And we talking like we got the money. Yep. He was telling us the money, and Mike and I was like, oh, man, the fact that we both didn't look at each other like, what the fuck? It was the fact that we both were like, yeah, cool. So now we get out, we get out of looking at the spot, and in my head, I'm like, yo, we ain't got this money. How are we getting this? The greatest thing was that we never thought about that. The thing was it was like, all right, we don't have it, but where are we gonna find it? And that's exactly what ended up happening. We had $20 in the business account, and we figured out, like, well, this spot isn't for us.
Right.
But there's a spot out there that is.
And that spot was so fire.
Yeah, it was
Just
so
understand
fire,
it was skeleton, right? Like we were sitting there be like, that's going to be the editing bay.
Yo.
We're going to do classes over there, financial literacy
Bro,
over there. That's going to be our office. We're going to build sets.
It had like a glass situation that you could write on.
Oh.
Bro, we going to get that spot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, trust me. And Roadhouse going to help us.
Yeah.
But $20,000 though. And we didn't bat an eye. Before, that used to be like, what, 20 what?
Yeah.
Now, it was that at that time, that's how I know that I looked at finances, especially money, a little bit different. When somebody tell you $20,000 for some rent. Yeah. And we're like, all right, cool.
It's like.
We was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, 20,000 would be like what? 2,000 according to your math?
Yeah, yeah, that's essentially. But that's a fact. Yeah, because, well, yeah, I look at $1,000 and go, I mean, but look, the reason
light work.
But the reason why I look at $1,000 like $100 is because
I guess I'm just messing with you. You can explain for people watching, but
I know,
you don't have,
but the thing is,
for the 37 people.
Yeah, but maybe 40. But the 30, but to the 40 people that are watching, the reason why I look at it like that is because my perception of money has now changed. Every time you get up into another level, your perception changes on what money is.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and to you and I, we always know that, no matter what, is going to come back because of how we do business. Yeah. And what we put, you said something one day, you was like, I've put enough good karma into the universe that I know it's going to come back to me, right? So when you said that, I was like, this dude is right. I'm like, I've put enough good karma in the world. Yeah, everybody put some bad karma in the world? You have. That came back because you could tell. Mm-hmm. But the good karma that you've done, you've seen that it hasn't even manifested yet because I think the universe wants you to continue the good stuff. Yeah. Now that it's coming back the way it is, we're creating this our foundation is blossoming. Like it's blossoming to the point that you and I this thing is moving faster than we expected, which is great.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, I'm comfortable with going, Myq, let's go look at this $1 million building and say, all right, cool. We'll get that soon.
But that's real, bro. Like I don't think this whole manifestation and positive thinking. And listen, I think as far as with what we do, especially as far as social media, you got all the information in the world.
That's a fact.
They think this way, do this, do that. You know what I mean? I think sometimes there's too much information for people because you don't even know what to believe or whatever. But what I'll say is I believe, and we've in just our short lives together.
For sure.
Pause. No, we've seen it. We've seen it. I've seen it in my life as far as just even with, cribs. I didn't have no bread. Mm-hmm. Me and Michelle went to go look at high rises just to be inside, be like, okay. And then fast forward maybe a year later, I was like, holy shit, babe, look where we're living.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are those type of things. And that's why going back, I love that you spoke about that because we're going to get that. Like mindset and shift. That's so different now as far as for where we are and how we feel. And I'm going to definitely shout out Roadhouse for that.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Because I've been doing this, you've been doing this, and it's always like, hey, we can get with that person, and you kind of want to, I need to meet that person to do that. Fuck that. Yeah. Fuck that. Still networking cool, but fuck that. We got our own stuff happening here, and we got our own things that we're doing, and we're going to focus the energy on our own shit because you're gonna feel what we're doing over here. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
But also too, he helped shift the mindset that because we're always because we're a service-based business,
right.
For us as managers, so we always thinking like, let's go, what can we do with help you and help that, and he's like, y'all are helping enough, and he said, I'm not saying that you're not gonna help other people, but remember you guys are just as powerful, and I'm like, he's right. Yeah. Like, he's like, we are, and we have to, and still be who we are and still be down to earth. Because I'm going to definitely start using getting rid of the word humble and start using the word down to earth a little bit more. Yeah. And then, and really, or whatever, I'm going to change it to something else. I'm going to just look, the next word. I need a thesaurus. So I can look up what's the next word. But nevertheless, though, shifting the concept of always having to be someplace, knowing that, we are that place.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And this past week, understanding who we are, what we do, how we are. Clearly, I told you what happened with my wife, and to be able to still function.
Yeah.
You know, like I literally told my wife, I was like, yo, if I was still working, I would have had to call to get time off to make sure that I'm here with you with the doctors. I would have had to go do this. I had to go do this. And I didn't have to do any of that, right? Because it was, yo, bro, I can't be on this call. Can you do this?
Yep.
I'll be able to do this later, but I can't do this right now.
That's it.
But I was able to be there for my family.
That's it, bro.
You know what I mean? And for my wife.
That's why we do this.
Everything. Exactly. So, you know, it's just crazy, like, mine and where we are. And I could, seriously, I could sit here and talk for 3 hours about things that I've seen and, you know, in my life and what we've had. And it's just amazing. I just feel really good today.
Nah, but think about it, though. Think about it, though. The concept of freedom, that's freedom. You know, think about having to pick up a phone and say, hey, my kid is graduating. Can I get off? And they tell you no.
Yeah.
Or picture you saying to your, you know, hey, my wife's in the hospital. And they're like, well,
you don't have time.
You don't have time, or finish the shift before you go. You know what I'm saying? The freedom, if you think about it, we're mastering our time is the biggest success for me. For us, we master our time, and we don't make time make our money. Like, you know, we don't trade in our time for that. That's the thing, is like freedom, we have it.
Yeah.
Like to me, my success is my freedom. When people ask me like, yo, what success looks like to you? I said, well, my freedom. They say, what do you mean, what type of freedom? I said, well, the freedom of me not having to go punch in someplace. And I'm saying I'm not, and that's my personal thing, is that I worked enough and I've done enough to put me in a position in order not to punch a clock. And that's the freedom. It's the freedom aspect of it. Yeah, do other things take place of that, like our own business? Yes. But I'll rather that than me going to work for somebody else and they're, you know, in the Bahamas with their feet up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. And the best part about this is that we're able to use our time and see where it goes, opposed to me sitting behind a desk not knowing where my time is even going.
Right, because it becomes empty almost. Sure. You know what I mean? And it's like what we're doing, like what you just said, bro, is like, you know, we see what it is, right? And I would take the stress of having, I don't want to say the stress, the ups and downs. Call it what you want.
The ups and downs.
The ups and downs of having your own business, and especially in this, you know, spot where we're at right now. I'd rather that than, oh my God, I gotta hurry up and finish so that I can get home. Like what you said, freedom is all of that.
Yep.
Do we have a lot more levels to go? 100%, but that's for us. Everybody's success is different.
Yeah.
My success, Don's success, we're aligned, but his success might be different.
Sure.
He may have a number on it. He may not have a number on it. He may just say, hey, I just want, you know, whatever, this, that, and the third. But, you know, it's different. People watching, your success might be getting that 9 to 5. It don't mean anything. It don't mean I'm better, you're better. It doesn't matter. Like, you just got to be happy with yourself, and you got to chase what your success is. Don't let anybody, don't let social media, don't scroll. Hey, you know, I want to be a social worker, and then scroll, and then you see somebody in a lamp. Oh, wait, hold on a second. No, fuck that. What do you want to do? That's success, you bet. Do that, and don't let anybody fucking tell you any different.
Yo, bro, so we've been having, a lot of people been hitting us. First and foremost, they've been telling us they love the pod. I think it's about like 50 people now. Yeah. Maybe 60.
Yeah.
And they've been like, yo, how can I, and these are influencers though, how can I be down with this group, right? I'm like, why do you want to be down with this group so bad? Like, I'm talking about consistently they hit us up.
Right.
And it's like, because, you know, the way brands, the deals that come in with the brands, they don't know how to actually negotiate their deals.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, what happened with some of these deals? And it was like, you know, some of these companies are $1 million companies, and instead of them leading with, hey, here's our budget, they're leading with, we'll give you product for a post.
Right.
And then I say to them, and they said that the content creator is saying, actually, I don't have, you know, the product can't pay my bills. Right. I'm going to spend time to shoot this content piece. What do you think was going on with that, bro? Like, why do you think these companies are doing that, especially to these content creators that have millions of followers? Because they're not going to only micros.
Yeah.
They're going to people that have millions of followers.
You know why?
Why?
Because you don't have Myq and Don. No,
well, that's true too.
The reason is, and I think we've spoken about this either on or off camera before. It's because there's people that'll take it.
Nah, bro,
you gotta stop. Yeah. You gotta stop. You gotta stop taking it and know your value and know your worth. And you have to be okay with saying no.
No,
you gotta say no.
So,
go ahead.
No, that's what I was telling one of the content creators. Like, yo, listen. I said, why did they keep coming back to you? It's like, I said, how many content pieces you shot for them before? Oh, 2. I said, so you thought the third time was going to be a charm? They're going to pay you money on the third time? Yeah. Like, yeah, I said, there's like, yo, but this company's a multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar company. I said, they said they send me this comprehensive email, but it doesn't have a budget attached to it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, they're going to do that because they know that you're going to just take it.
Yeah, and sometimes, I'm going to play the other side of it too. Sometimes the people that reach out don't have the authority, right? They're told, get this done. Because there's times that, I know I've spoke to agencies and I'm, with the there's a budget attached. I'll say, what is going to make you look great to your boss? How much getting it done, like the number, and you'll look great. Because I want to try to do that. Now, if it's completely off, hey, I love you, you're great, but I'm sorry we can't do that. But the thing is that I still think, and we speak about this, is that this influencer marketing is still fairly new. I've seen some things where people talking about it's not so much influencer and more content creator because there is differences. And then, I feel like a content creator has more business savvy. Yeah. Right? Because it's content that they're doing. And the influencer, like that connotation of putting your head through the wall and, I'm just getting views and you're stupid. I've had conversations with people I don't want to mention, right? And it's like, oh, they're over. Like influencers, they don't know what they're doing. And that's the stereotype, right? And it's still a stereotype, just like a black, Spanish, white. It's a stereotype, right? Yeah. And it's like, in that conversation, I was like, well, not our guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, our guys don't run their head through the wall.
Yeah, and the thing is that, and they know the worth.
And girls, we don't do none of that.
Yeah, they just know their worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard, to be able to decipher if, hey, do I go back? Do they have budget? Are they telling me that they don't have a budget when they actually do have a budget? But like what we're saying, you're a multi-million-dollar company, right? And you're telling me you don't have a budget because it might be new. You might have a 65-year-old person running that company, and influencer marketing is not really like, let's see what they could do. I know somebody will do it for, like you said, for product.
It's almost like we worked with an agency, right, that came to do their third-party agency. They ended up reaching out to us for one of our content creators. I won't say the name of the brand yet, probably a few more pods later, right? And then they offered, I think it was $2,500 or $2,000. And I think we went back and said, yo, you got to bring it up to, I think it was like $3,500. But when we did a little bit more digging, we found out that the budget was, I think, $8,000. And the company told the agent, the person that was doing the deal, if you get them at a number, you get a percentage of that $8,000. So the crazy part about that is when we found that out, I understand the incentive from the bigger company, but they're trying to get the content creator to do more work for less money when they know the budget that is there. And they only, for this in particular one, they only came to the black creator to do that with. And it was like an $8,000 deal, and they came. The agent came with a $2,500. That was the budget until we did some more digging. I remember. And they ended up.
I didn't know at first, and then I remember.
Yeah, and then they ended up outing themselves, and you said something on the phone like, "Oh, you trying to go to Brooklyn Chop House?"
I said, yo, listen, check this out, just so y'all know how we move, right? I said, yo, listen, I know you getting bread off of this, right? Yeah. So instead of going to Brooklyn Chop House, why don't you go to like Applebee's with the check? All right, like let's figure this out.
And the fact, the way she laughed and smirked was like almost like, how did you know that I was getting a percentage? We end up finding out that that's what they do. Yeah. Is that they give their workers that they already pay a percentage off of the money, that they don't give out. So I understand their business model. 100%. I understand it. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. But the fact that you can't go to other content creators with a $2,500 budget and they'll take it, because especially for this content creator, that person had a large following, and what they wanted that person for was in their niche. So you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay for it. And they always come back with these real small budgets. And then when we start doing the digging is when we find out there's a $10,000 budget or $5,000 budget. And even those numbers for some of our content creators are low.
Yeah.
Especially because when you have one content creator that's doing, $50,000 for a post, and people are like, what? I'm like, yeah. And for us, that's cheap because there's some people that are doing $700,000 for a post. So, when we come to these content creators, aspect of building out their business, we have to show them how this business runs and the ups and downs of these $1 million companies trying to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And we just over it.
Yeah, and you got to also understand that you got to be able to go back.
Word.
Right? Any number that a brand, so if you don't have management, all right, it's going to be a little FOTS.
A little FOTS tidbit, a lot of FOTS fact. You know
what I'm saying? They'll come up with a number, right? And you may sit there and be like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Like maybe you've done $100 deals and a brand comes and says, hey, can we do this? And it'll be $2,000 and it's like amazing to you. Always go back.
Yeah.
Always go back, and at the end of your email, to make you feel better, say, let me know your thoughts.
Yep.
Because then that shows that you're willing to talk, and you can go high. Listen, we just had this recently.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to give you, I think it was 10,000 in that range. Went back, like, yeah, need 45.
Yeah. 1,000.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. And they came down, and the fact is that they jumped up so crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy. And it was like, damn, you had that. And again, from the business side, I get that. You're going to try to get the most for the least.
Yep.
Right? But as for us, the thing we hate is that, because we always go back, understand that any number that comes to us is never the final number.
Correct.
So we're going to go back 100%. The worst part is when we go back with a number and they say, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That means we could have got more.
Could have got more. You know what I mean? And the thing
that's
is,
a gamble though.
Right. You have to do that. And that's why there's certain ways that you can word it and verbiage.
Engage it.
To make sure that you let them know that, hey, we're open to speak.
Yep.
Right, about the business. But the thing is, as far as for us, it's not so much, when we have these conversations, especially with newer creators that come around. Yeah, of course, the more money you get, the more percentage that we get. That's cool, but that's not our motive.
Yeah.
Our motive is to show you your value and show you your worth. Yes, of course, the more money that we get for you, the more money we make. That's granted. But the thing is our motive is not that.
Yep.
Our motive is not, hey, get the most money. Oh, and if they don't say yes, then fuck them. No. It's to just, hey, how much you want, right? Jufu was the best, right? I'm not going to say numbers, right?
Yeah.
But, hey, Jufu, how much would you do for this for? Okay, give us a number. All right, cool. We now know that, came back, probably got him 5 times the number.
That's a fact.
That makes us feel great just because of that.
Yeah.
That portion of it.
Yep.
Forget, it's just so hard to tell people, hey, we actually care, because there's not so many people out here, especially in this business, that actually do care. So they're all going to be about the number.
Always.
They're all going to be about trying to get more. But, you got to know the lay of the land. And I think for us, as far as our experience and our knowledge helps us. And I'm not saying we bat 1,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we did, man.
Because we go back, because there's certain scenarios that we take whatever it is, like, okay, let's rock with that. You know what I mean? But you got to kind of gauge and know, the lay of the land. And, but the reason why these budgets, going back to the original aspect of it, is because too many of y'all are going to take it, and y'all don't understand y'all worth, and y'all sit there and y'all take these things because you're so concerned about, the weekend or whatever. And it may not be that. Again, I'll take it on the other side, the more responsible side. Like, yo, I gotta buy Pampers for my daughter. I get all that, but you gotta be willing to sacrifice something in order to get that
bigger thing,
that bigger check, and it becomes your brand. How you handle yourself and how you negotiate. If you don't have anybody, that's your brand.
Yeah,
your brand. You sit there and be like, oh, go to such and such because they're gonna take $250. Hell yeah, tell them you do it for $350 because they're gonna take it.
And then on top of that too, that's like almost like and do your best to gauge how you quote unquote like chase these brands, right? So some people
segue king.
But that's what because a lot of content creators think they're gonna lose these deals, right? Because they never know how to negotiate them.
Yep.
And when they get somebody to go yes, then they start to chase.
Yep.
And then now said brand like, yo, we told you we'll get back to you, and every minute is like you chasing, and then you end up losing that leverage that you had. Now they come back to you with a number that you're like, damn, they saw I was thirsty.
But that's what it is.
That's what happens.
And they take their time.
And they take
right?
their time.
Because you got to understand that in certain scenarios, you got to be like a duck, right? You got to be chill. And even though you may be excited under the water like this, you can't let people see that. Right? Because again,
I like that analogy.
That's
a fact. I like that.
And you keep, like you said, hey, okay, cool, we're going to do this. Bet. You go back and forth. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And if you start chasing it, like what you said, the leverage is lost because they're like, oh, we good. It's like in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You sit there, if you give your number to somebody, right, and they don't call and you keep, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah,
I already got this. I got them.
Yeah, he's thirsty.
I mean? Yeah, they
thirst buckets.
Yeah, they hear. Yeah. And then what happens is it's the numbers and another tidbit. Your first negotiation, right? If you're sitting there, very, very first negotiation, I don't care if it hurts your stomach. You've made $100 and they say, we're going to give you $100,000 and it's going to hurt your stomach to say, can you go higher? Whatever you have to do that. And the reason is that you establish your posture from the beginning. Because if you're going to have a long-term relationship, they'll now know from the very first time they're not going to take whatever I give.
Yeah.
Pause.
And on top of and always though, even like you said, even if it hurts, you always need to go. Oh, they gonna give me 150? Can you do 180? Let them go. Let them go. You know what? We can't do the 180, but we'll give you 170.
Yeah.
Then you got more money than you were supposed to. So you're right. It's always going for more. Even if you're uncomfortable with it, like, oh, they're not gonna get back to me. Listen, the only thing they could do is not respond. And then, but also too, you could set a standard that, yo, he or she looks at their content where it needs to be, opposed to just I'm just here.
Yeah, because for us, like what we do with our clients, something will come in. It doesn't matter what it is. Don and I usually say, how much would you do this for? What is the number that you're comfortable doing this? Okay, cool. Because now he and I now know what it is, because it becomes more efficient because we don't have to go back and forth. Hey, we now know. But our goal is always to go, like again with the Jufu situation. We love those scenarios. We love being able to do that. But again, I'm talking to the people that don't have a Myq Don, and I'm not sounding funny. Somebody that doesn't have representation or whatever. Just for yourself, you got to understand like your very first interaction with a brand, especially if you're trying to do a long-term situation, you got to set the tone. You have to set the tone. It's not you being greedy. Even, and we talking about 100,000 or whatever. Even if it's $100, hey, could you do 200? Whatever it is, get used to
that habit.
To be able to do that, because the thing is that a lot of times we don't know our worth, right? And it's like, damn, I want that 100. I don't want to say that because I'm going to lose that. No. And if it becomes that, to be honest with you,
that means you weren't supposed to work with them anyway.
That, number one, and these people don't know business, because don't tell me, like, that's the thing. Yo, you're not going to sit there and say, hey, this is the number. And okay.
That's the number.
I get it. He and I are able to sit there and say this because, again, of experience, and we've been through it, and we're okay with doing that. But we've had plenty of times that our thing is, how creators put out videos, put out songs to try to see what it is. Me and Don is emails. We send an email, be like, all right, let's see. We come back, You know what I mean?
They went for it, like the quarterback sneak. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the best part about it, that we're able to paint that picture for the content creator, so they can see that even from our side, that we also throw numbers out there just so they can get what's best for them. And that's the best part with it. I think that's for us. I think we love the hunt, right? Yeah. So I think with us it's the hunt. It's the aspect of knowing that, they present themselves with a number, and it's for us to go, get the bigger gazelle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I think. That's how I look at it.
No, 100%. Like with brand, whether somebody's working us from a marketing agency standpoint, if there's a creator that we would like to work with, or whatever, getting that is like our thing, right? Like you said, it's the hunt.
It's the hunt.
But then you also got to remember after that. Yeah. See, you and I understand. Once you get that and the deal is signed, now you got to execute.
Execute it, yeah.
Because a lot of times you creators, you go sit there, and I've heard from agencies too, like, hey, you ever had a situation like this where you gave the money and nothing ever happened?
Yeah, they say that all the time. They go, the reason why we're giving you guys this is because we know it will get done. Yeah, right. Because we're the ones going to make sure it gets done.
100%. And y'all gotta stop doing that because y'all messing it up for everybody.
Yep.
Like this again. This industry is still new. It's still new, but
still a teenager.
But y'all gotta handle it like I know there's people out there clearly that handle their business because it wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar business if it wasn't. And I'm not saying Myq and Don are the end all be all. There are people out there that are doing that, but there is a lot, and especially in our community, that are just sitting there just trying to get that bread.
Yeah,
they're looking at it like a hustle, and I get it. But you can turn this into a business, and you got to learn how to do that. And you can't just sit there and go from this brand to this brand to this brand to this brand, taking money. At some point, you're gonna be done, unless you're gonna do it like with how you do with credit and be like, hey, turn my son into it.
No. You're right. I mean, and then we are creating the next phase of this economy. Mm-hmm. So I think I feel as if that our company is creating the next phase of this economy. Us and some other people. I'm not watching them. Yeah. And we're not watching them. Yeah. But we know that we know them. Mm-hmm. And we and they essentially keep an eye on us too. They don't say that, but you can tell that. But we are the next phase of this. I think we're at the forefront. Mm-hmm. And that's why we transitioned to a media company as well. Yeah. So that we're able to kind of do two folds and kind of blend the two. And then with that, it builds out something like a hybrid. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure there's other companies like that. Right. But there's no company that's a brown and black ran. Yeah. And at the helm of it and showing cases how both our communities come together and work.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too, as far as with their this influencer basis, this business. I'm gonna keep going to that because there's so many other layers to it. There's videographers, photographers, editors. There's so many different things. But the thing is that for us here in-house, you can come here as a creator, like, hey, I saw you work with such and such, and now you're in the fold. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, y'all have a podcast network? Yep. Oh, I might want to do that. Oh, I might want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different things because it's a career here. That's what we're building here. Always piggyback and quote my man Don, where he says it's careers over moments.
Facts.
Right? And that's
careers over moments.
That's what we focus on.
Facts.
Here. That's what we focus on here. 100% of the time, it's not just, figuring this stuff out. Like right now, Don and I are really getting our non-exclusive roster. Yeah, we're building that out. Right? Like the management.
So if you're a content creator out there, you want to be represent, you could be a non-exclusive content creator with this group, just so you know. Yeah. It's a quick infomercial,
No, because that's what it is. We have a lot of partnerships and strategic partnerships with management companies, agencies. But, for us, it's like we want to be a little bit more hands-on. Because we're not as selective when it comes to, as far as non-exclusive. The management is very more very more selective. Is that correct grammar?
Well, it's
more selective.
I think
no, Kaba, that's definitely not, right?
Yeah.
Nah, very, very selective, right?
Very selective.
Yo, my man said very more selective.
You know what I mean? Thought you was Jamaican. You just said
Junior.
Add some more. But that's the thing. But look, you content creators out there, Myq and I, this group page gets hits up all the time about representation, that they need help. You guys need help with negotiations. If you are a content creator, and I think this is crazy I'm doing this, but if you are a content creator that hit up our page and there you are looking for Myq and Don or this group, one of our teammates to help you with your negotiation skills, you can become a part of our team with non-exclusive paperwork, and we can help negotiate your deal.
Right.
Just hit us up. And if you fit our criteria, we will then have a conversation, and then you can make the roster of our non-exclusive, and then we can help you with your negotiations so that we can give you some real good tidbits, not just the tidbits to help you, also give you some direction when it comes to when it comes to these deals. Also help you build out an infrastructure for whatever deal that is. We don't manage you. We can just help you do that. Right. So just so you guys, you content creators out there, if you guys are looking for somebody to help, Myq and Don, this group is definitely here to help with you content creators that don't have management, representation, and that need some type of help when it comes to your negotiation skills.
And just understand, this is crazy little commercial.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm with you, but I'm glad that you spoke about it because it is a platform that we can say that. With that situation, number one, doing that is not a steroid. Yep. It's not like, oh, I'm rocking with y'all. Yeah. All right, let me get a deal tomorrow. No, it doesn't mean that. And it's just we want to help, right? And that's the best way that Don and I can help as far as for the people that are in need. And something that we always tell our non-exclusive guys is like, listen, go get your bread, do whatever you want. You can sit here and come to us, say, hey, I have a deal I want you guys to negotiate. Cool. Then you can have another 12 that you don't. And doesn't matter. Yep. It's if you need help, we're here. Yep. That's fine. A lot of the non-exclusive guys want to become management, and the reason why we don't is because it's for y'all, right? Because if they come here and they expect a manager, we know what a manager is expected to do, and we don't want to say yes. Hey, yeah, sign, and then again, it's great for us, but then you don't get what you need. So we kind of keep it there, just so because you see, and as we grow, there's things, hey, we might be able to bring you into the fold, but it establishes the relationship. It's not so, hey, we own it. None of that. Yep. It's literally, if you need help, we help you.
And on the paperwork, it says non-exclusive. Yeah. So that nobody's like, oh my gosh, when I'm signing the paperwork. Yeah, the paperwork is non-exclusive and it gives us the right to represent you on deals that even we may have. Let's say you become a part of the roster, we may be able to help. But, we say that to say this is that we know that a lot of you guys need help when it comes to negotiations. We hear this all the time. So here's your opportunity to be a part of this group as a non-exclusive content creator to help you negotiate your deals. And if you have a manager that does not know how to even negotiate your deals as well, we'll also work with that person too. We can now work out the deal structures, however that goes, but we're here to help content creators here and abroad.
Look at this. It's a commercial. I love it. We got to chop this up, take this, be like, yo, put that booster post.
Know what I'm saying?
To where Don says non-exclusive.
Yeah. The FOTS fact.
You heard?
So, so I guess usually you ask me about, the goals. So I'm so.
You could ask me?
I'm going to ask you first.
We're going to go goalkeeper?
So we're going to go goalkeeper. So, goalkeeper. So goalkeeper is we don't have to explain what goalkeeper is. If the 80 people, the number always change. If the 80 people that's watching, it's already, because it was 30, 40, 80. So the 80 people that's watching know what goalkeeper is. So Myq, I'm going to ask you, man, what's a goal that you want to keep for this week?
This week is definitely eating right. I'm going to start, I spoke with the trainer. I signed up with him. And I'm gonna really get to it. My mindset is really different now, and I'm going to this is what's today, Wednesday?
Yeah, today's
Tuesday. Oh my God. So only my second day as far as being aware and eating right, and I need to keep doing that. And just again, I have to focus on me. I got to be a trophy husband.
Nah, man.
For my wife.
Nah, man.
But also
because I'm getting
because I'm getting older, I just want to make sure that I stay healthy, and I want to get back to being athletic. This was the conversation I had. I'm like, yo, I can't run. I played everything, everything, and it's just like the fact that if I sit there and jog and be out of breath, like it's like disrespectful, and I'm like, yo, I look at myself and like, fuck happened to you, B?
Yeah, it's good.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal is to eat right, and I think I'm gonna start in the gym. I think on Monday. I'm not sure, but within the next week, I'm sure. I actually have to join a gym.
Okay.
And then eat right.
Yeah, that's. I applaud you, my brother, for actually, calling yourself out. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, I've been eating right. Today I had like a nice little shake. But my goal this week is the same. Just continuously going, keeping my schedule on what it is. I do get up super early, so I'm in the gym super early. And just continue to keep that. At the moment, I'm not nobody's, my wife's passed, so I'm not a trophy husband, but I'll be somebody's trophy soon.
Nah, trophy CEO, bro.
Or a trophy father, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what's crazy?
You know what I'm saying? Throw the trophy up, you know what I mean? Have something for my kids. I just really want them to understand that it can be done. And just like you, man, I was super active and do certain things, and I think mentally you go through some stuff in your mind, and food became something for me. So especially when you didn't have, you trying to understand what's going on in your life, especially the person that you love is, you kind of see deteriorating, and you can't really physically fix it.
Yeah.
I think with that, for me, that was a big thing for me. So now that I'm here, and how I got to this realization, bro, is I was in my room, and I found myself being in the dark a lot. And I turned on the light, and it was almost like a eureka moment.
Open the curtains, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And it opened, and I just breathed some fresh air. And the first thing came to my mind is like, yo, go to the gym, bro. And it's exactly what I did. And I went to the gym and just, on there watching people. You have these nice little old white ladies sitting right beside you. Like, hey, you have a beautiful smile. How are you? I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? And you're just walking and you're just chilling, and all of a sudden, it's just you go back again, and you see the same people, and they, and you got the guy that's like,
oh yeah.
He's looking at the weights 40 times, and you're like, this guy's crazy, and you know what I'm saying. But and then you have the lady that's like this big, trying to like push. And her feet can't even touch the floor. It's hilarious in there. But what ended up happening was, I'm like, yo, you know what? This is probably going to be my sanctuary for a little bit. And I'm just going to continue on my journey. I'm not rushing to be for nobody. I'm doing it for me. And just like you, man, just getting back to me, understanding that it's a me thing. The competition I'm in competition is with my old self. So if my old self is still around, I'm losing in my eyes when it comes to me, my battle within. So I'm just like, fine. You know what? I will challenge myself that I can be the better version of me, and I'm gonna do it.
And you know what's crazy is that, you know what the dude asked me really quick? He asked me, why is it that you feel like you need somebody now? Right? And I was like, I know I could do this. I've done it before. Bro, I was at like 150 at one point. You know what I mean? Training to be a trainer. Age, right? And I was like, I knew how to do it then. I don't think I know how to do it now, and especially like, health. And I told him, I was very blatantly honest with him. I said, I'm scared. I'm very scared to go back to the gym, because the last time I had a trainer, I went there and I think he was training me like I was 25.
Nah, so I remember
right?
I spoke to you.
Yeah, and I would be laying on the floor, feeding me fucking pineapples to get the sugar back. And that was scary to me, because I'm like, damn, I like to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I haven't been back because of that. And it was the first time that I like really verbally said like, yo, I'm just scared to go back. And he was like, yo, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it, go slow and just do what you got to do. And it's just like, bro, without health, I used to, when I was younger, hey, you got to be healthy.
Yeah.
And without health, you don't have anything. And now as you get older, it's like, damn, that shit is true.
Yeah.
Because it don't matter how many millions and how many
doesn't matter
things and how many how many people you help. It don't matter if you're not here to enjoy it. That's just what it is. But
see, that's what I'm saying. We align again.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, so the shared vision, the shared alignment, we both on the same wavelength of what we want. And that's what our goals are. So this week, that's where we at, man.
Yeah, and next year you're gonna have FOTS training tips by the time.
Be out here, you know what I mean? I could be out here like Mikey. My cousin be out here thinking he's a bodybuilder. So I mean, he be in there.
I gotta get accustomed to that.
Yeah,
the Mikey, because I'm thinking of Mikey.
Mikey.
Because my son is Mikey. So
Dread Mikey.
Yeah. Shatta Mikey.
All right, man. So we see y'all next week.
Yeah, we out here.
Thank you.
Yes. 81, 82, and 83 viewers. We love you.
You heard me?
Peace.